Hey guys, welcome back. I thought I'd do a live not live video today, so apologies for the background noise, or I might be doing a voiceover, we'll see. So I have today the Build an Aquarium from Fawn, and I've used the main piece plus this longer add-on and what will create the sand at the bottom. That's all I've used from that die set. And then from the small and large stitched rectangles, I've used a couple of pieces. I kind of just played around with it until I was happy with the different sizes that I used. And then the main stamps are going to be the Christmas fishes, and I will pick a sentiment when I get there. And I've used a couple of the fish and the crab, and I've added a face to him and some seaweed and rocks. So this is very, very simple to do. So I have a card base, which we will get to in a minute, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and we'll score it at 4 1/4. And then what I have is some distress ink, and what I want to do, let me zoom you in a bit more. Zoom, zoom, zoom. These are all the little pieces that I used my scan and cut to cut out and coloured with some Copic markers just to save a bit of time on screen. And then these are the two blues. I chose blue for that. Same blue as I've got on one of my pieces, like panel things. So just a green and a blue. Oop. So I thought that would look quite nice, especially Christmassy, oceany. I don't know, seemed to work in my head. And then I did keep all the pieces except these tiny triangles for that die cut out of this, and I used that die to give the shape of what will be the sand on the bottom. But what I also did was I die cut these pieces as well, these little slithers. I lined it up again to get the two sections. So these two will be the ocean, and I have got it taped in here. And these top two will be, get rid of that, will be the ocean, and the others will be the ground. Right, so this is what cuts out when you cut the frame out. Gives you that nice little framed area. So let's start with what will be the sky. No, not the sky, the ocean. So I've got some Broken China distress ink. I kind of match that ish to the paper that I'm using. It's not going to be an exact match because it's obviously a different paper, or a different colour, sorry. And I'm just going to go from the top down without, like not all the way to the bottom. That's what I'm trying to say. And just bringing that colour down. Just until we have enough so it looks like there's a bit of oceany colour going on. And the more colour you add, the more the paper will the more saturated the paper will get, so it'll blend better. So a bit more this side. That will do. And then I need to do these two side pieces, but I need to remember which one goes where. And I think that's right, because I can see the line of the where the die was. So again, just inking these up. Doesn't have to be perfect, because this is what will look like the side of the fish tank. Right, that's that one. Just move them out of the way and clean up. Just don't want to transfer any ink across to these pieces. So now we have the same idea, put it the right way around, but the opposite way around. So this is for the sand part of it. So I'm going to use brushed corduroy distress ink for this one, and this one it doesn't really matter ink wise, you could ink the whole thing. Just get that colour on there and it will look very cool. Same with these little guys. These are my side pieces. Just make sure you got them the right way around. That's that. And again, let's just get that out of the way. Right, so I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start, it's probably going to be easier on here. So I'm going to start by adding this piece on here, and it's just going to go flat on there. So I'll use some wet glue, if it'll let me. Technicality. Because these are very thin. You can use like a, what's it called? Can't think of the word. Like a double-sided adhesive when you die cut it, and then that will help to, you'll have adhesive all the way on the back already. Just getting this mostly on here. And then just lining it up as best I can. My cat's having a good old moan outside the door. So apologies. It's like having kids. Can't go to the loo without them either, right? So that's stuck on there. So this next bit should be a little easier. So these long pieces I'm going to stick in here as well. Is that stuck on there? Just getting that in there. And then these little guys will go in there, like so. Poor cat. So that just makes for the top and bottom. It just helps when you're trying to stick the next pieces on. It's got something to adhere to rather than trying to use those skinny parts of the frame. So then we will get these pieces in. Let's try some non-wet adhesive. Like some skinny tape. Mixing it up today. I like thin adhesive or dry adhesive. Wet adhesive works for a lot of things, but it sometimes warps paper, which is what it's done here. It started to warp this a bit, which obviously I didn't want, so, but it's fine. We'll make it work. And I could have used a thicker one there, but that's fine. Right, so now it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. So you get your adhesive off, not your adhesive, the backers off, whatever you want to call them. And then it is just like puzzle piecing, kind of like an inlay. In fact, this is an inlay. If you wanted to do this for more intricate dies that you've got, this will work really nicely. Same idea. Sometimes obviously if it's too intricate, you'll need to use a wet adhesive or something like that, or the double-sided adhesive on the back of your dies before you cut all those pieces out, because you could be there forever trying to get those pieces in. So let's start with my sky, my ocean, not my sky, and I'm kind of pushing it in at the top edge to make sure it's all the way in there. And then the same with my sand, pushing it towards the bottom edge to make sure that they fit in there. And they should just fit just nicely. Then making sure I've got this the right way around. Adding the ocean bit in the side piece, like so. And then my sandy area, like so, and they go in really, really easy. Ocean piece again, then the sand, and there you have your tank semi set up. So these pieces are to finish it off. Now you do get pieces that go along the side if you want to do this the other way around. You could also do the exact same thing, have the oceany bit there and the sandy bit at the bottom, and have it full, you know, like a full glass tank. But I'm going to add the same colour cardstock as the background onto this, with some thicker adhesive, so we're not here for 9 days while I put that on there. You could also pop this bit up, that would be cool. And I have 2 pieces of this. Like so, and again just getting the adhesive off, the backers off, sorry. And then this lines up really nicely, top and bottom, on your little tank. So lining up the corners and the outer edge with the bottom, corner, outer edge, and bosh. Ta-da! Really easy to put together. So let me know guys if you prefer the speed through videos, because I know some of them will be like that anyway, like the mixed media stuff. Just because of the time, you'll be there forever watching that. It would be hours and hours. But for things like this, if you prefer the sort of walkthrough tutorial, like this. If I can make the card semi-quick, then I will do that. So we'll see what happens. But now you have your nice little tank ready to go. So easy to put together. If you had a black frame that could look like black iron, you know, like some of the tanks are like that. Right, so let's build our scene. So I know where everything's going because I did some planning. Are you shocked? And these guys are just going to sit. Just need to double check a couple things. I have to swap these ones round just because. And then these will just sit in there. Oh, wrong way around, like so. He's gonna go there. Woohoo! And he's up there. Perfect. So let's just get these stuck down. Wet adhesive. And this is always the fun thing for me, is creating the little scene. I always find this the fun part. It's kind of like creating a little story. So if you're stuck for ideas, then maybe think of a little story. Take a stamp set out of your stash, shop your stash, but take a stamp set out or something and have a look at it and try and create a story in your mind or out loud about what you would create with that particular stamp set. And then there you go. You've got your idea for your card or your scrapbook page or your project life page or whatever. Pretty easy once you start doing it that way. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to figure out what you want to do on a project. I've spent sometimes days trying to work out, you know, and plan what I'm going to do for you guys. And sometimes it just happens straight away. And then once you've got those ideas going, just make note of them. So keep a little book handy, just write those ideas down, and then that way every time you get stuck for an idea, you've got ideas already planned, and then you just kind of go from there as to what you're going to do with the you know, how you're going to put it together, or what colours you're going to use, that kind of thing. And my camera's going to go off in a minute. Of course it is. So I'm going to try and do this quicker. So there's our little scene. I need to do the sentiment quickly, if I can, before my camera dies. Oh, that was loud, I'm sorry. And I think I'm just going to go with this one. So grab a block, a very large block, and I'm going to use the edge of the tank, so this edge here, for my greeting. And sorry about my head if it got in there. Seasons, greetings. Did you get it? It's funny. Right, so let's get my card base in. 4 1/4. This is Nina 110. It's just a nice sturdy cardstock, and I like a good white card base. I think it makes sense. Let's give that a good score. So it's semi-flat when I go to adhere all this. And then I think what I'm going to do is just adhere it straight on there, just in case my camera dies, of course. I'm also going to add some like a shimmer pen. That's a silver one, but add some white shimmer or some sort of glaze to that, so that they're little what am I trying to say, guys? So they're Santa hats, the fluffy bits. Look fluffy. Let's use this one. Let's just open this. A nice mark on there, nice. Come on. Right, so just line that up somewhat straight. You guys know I don't normally know how to do straight, but that'll do. And then should we pop this bit up? Nah, let's just keep it simple. But you could pop that whole thing up and that would look very cool. We're just going for this. And because I've used the dies to cut the rectangles, everything lines up real nice. So there's my card, guys. Is that even on there straight? I don't think this one's on straight. Anyway, we'll just pretend it's straight. So there you go, guys. Like I say, actually I've still got time. My camera's still going. Let's do this while I'm here. I'm going to use... I'll add extra detail with some white gel pen and a black glaze pen to their eyes. And then for their hats, I'm going to add... I'm not going to use that one. Let's grab the Nouveau one. Let's see if I've got enough in here. The other one I like to use is the Nouveau White Blizzard, which I may afterwards, I may actually grab that and add that. I don't know that you can even pick that up, but it is shimmery. But I think the Nouveau Glimmer, no, what's it called? Nouveau Crystal Drops, they just add a little bit of texture. So I think I'll add that in afterwards. But there you go, guys. Very easy card. Nice. Keep it simple for Christmas, especially if you've got 100 of them to do. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.